There are very wonderful stories how they're always looking at each other. The moon never turns its back upon the planet. The day moon turns its back on us, we are finished. In case the moon turns its back on us, that means human reproductive system will go away and it's over. That means when the moon's rotation goes beyond a certain radii or certain circumference rather, then it will start showing the other face to you. When it shows the other face, that means the end of humanity has come. In a few years it will go down.
Maybe Sadhguru, you could provide some light from the yogic perspective. Clearly, there's a large, history of descriptions of how the moon can influence our physiology, but there's no evidence from the modern science to show that gravity, at least gravity, specifically the forces that bring two masses together, can influence how our body and mind function. So I'm really curious about what the Hindu scriptures will say and how it can maybe motivate and inspire some more research.
Namaskaram. See, when from the yogic perspective, if you look at it, one important arm of yoga, which is called as Hatha Yoga, simply means Ha means the sun, Tha means the moon. Hatha means to bring a balance between these two forces. So, essentially, approximately 7 to 8 planets and the moon and the sun together have a significant influence on the making of life on this planet. This is how it is seen. In this, the sun, moon and the planet has the maximum impact. Well, the male population may be confused about it. I think the female population in the world, human population, has always been very much in sync with the cycles of the moon, and that's the basis of our birth and our existence right now. But apart from that, we do not see moon as just having some gravitational impact on us and its extra reflected light like this. We see moon as the basic element which holds Earth in its trajectory of rotation or the revolution around the sun. In the yogic sciences, we see that, I think today modern sciences are confirming this, that the moon as a satellite is moving away about 20 millimeters every year. And when it moves beyond a certain point, it will start… its impact on the life on this planet will recede. Out of that, human reproductive cycles will go off its normal cycle, and that is how humanity will end. That is how human beings will slowly go away. But above all, if the moon goes away, which inevitably it is supposed to do after many million or billion years, whatever that is, when it goes away, we see that the earth cannot hold its track of revolution around the sun. It will lose its balance and it'll also break up into pieces. This is how the yogic system looks at it. About its impact on our daily life, well, I'm sure you are aware of this. India uses largely the Hindu calendar is either a lunar calendar in some parts of the country. Wherever there is matriarchy, there will be lunar calendar. Wherever there is patriarchy, there is what is called as lunisolar calendar, which is a combination of lunar cycles and solar cycles. Why this calendar is important is, see, today we are looking at calendar as just a number game of measuring how many days in a month, how many days in a year, or how many years in our life like this. Here we are not looking at calendar as just a numerical record of things, but we are looking at it as how we experience the calendar within ourselves, how the body responds to it at different times. Accordingly, various traditions, practices, rituals were crafted so that in those times you can make the best use of what is around you in the form of Earth's energy, in the form of Earth's trajectory, how it is moving, how its northern face of the Earth, where it is pointed towards, its closeness to the sun, all these things are taken into effect as to what sort of practices you do. When I say Hatha Yoga, this sun and moon, well, this 4,356 days is considered as one solar cycle. This is segmented in different ways for different people. For householders, it's segmented one way, for the yogis, it's segmented different ways, for the ascetics one way, and people who are into regular worldly life another way, because their bodies are tuned and they need to function differently. Accordingly, the calendar is used depending upon the moon phases and the planet's position in relation to the sun. Well, as we know, the moon is constantly showing only one phase to us. Its rotation is synchronized with planet's rotation, so we're seeing only one phase of the moon. This also is significant because the way the moon responds or the way the planet responds to the moon, there are very wonderful stories how they're always looking at each other. The moon never turns its back upon the planet. The day moon turns its back on us, we are finished. You know, in case the moon turns its back on us, that means human reproductive system will go away and it's over. That means when the moon's rotation goes beyond a certain radii or certain circumference rather, then it will start showing the other face to you. When it shows the other face, that means the end of humanity has come. In a few years, it will go down. So, what impact it has on a daily basis? Well, it is not the moonlight alone. It is a whole… today people are talking in scientific terms of electrical charges, electromagnetic impact and other things. Well, I don't want to talk about it, that I'm not an expert in that, but in the yogic system, we have a lot of significance to full moon and new moon days, because those 2 days there are different types of practices we do. Ascetics usually do practices during new moon days. People in the family way of life, they will do all their practices during the full moon night because the impact is very different. There are variety of devices that we created at one time where, you know, like through the full moon night, how to expose your spine to the moon, not allowing the moon to fall on the other parts of the body, a device so that a narrow crack which allows moonlight to fall only upon your spine, and how it reorganizes your system. 3 full moon nights like that could completely reorganize your system from ill health to health, for in women it was seen as from barrenness to fertility and various other aspects, and also in the mystical world, various levels of perception were always, connected with the moon. As you might have seen images, Adi Yogi, the first yogi, wears moon, a crescent moon, in his upon his head like a jewel. This is to indicate that he is at the highest level of perception, because human perception and moon are very connected. Well, today in terms of medical terms, the doctors, you must translate this, but I'm saying in medical terms, we may see it as there is a certain level of neurological stimulus. When I say neurological stimulus, why I'm talking about this is, see, as in the evolutionary process of life on this planet, of all the things, we are not the strongest creature on this planet, but we have the most complex and sophisticated neurological system. That's what renders us as really on top of the pile of the evolutionary system. So this neurological development is the most significant aspect of who we are. And the neurological development of the human being and how stimulated it is and how active it is and how balanced it is in many ways directly related to the phases of the moon, and there are very many ways in which people can make use of it to handle their various mental fluctuations and sloshings that they have. You know, many human beings go into tides themselves within their system because the whole oceans are going up, but 72% of our body is also water. So there is fluctuation in the system. It is just that Generally, I know there are some studies saying on this day, people tend to become more imbalanced, or those who have anxiety and manic depressions go off control, this kind of things. I would like to say the moon is not causing madness. I'm saying this so that moon is liberated from this word. Lunar means if you say loony, people think you're mad, all right? So, moon does not cause madness. Moon just pushes up your energy in a certain way. If your quality is joy, you will become more joyful. If your quality is love, you will become more loving. If you are meditative, you will become more meditative. If you have mental illnesses, that also gets enhanced. Whatever is your quality gets enhanced because of full moon. It is not causing any one particular quality in us, it definitely does not bring about madness. It is just that it enhances who you are on that day. Whatever is your quality finds a larger manifestation. Because of that, maybe in the medical institutions, mental and other kinds of institutions, people may find some kind of exaggeration on those days.